Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with me, and we're going to upcycle this tissue box. This is just a regular facial tissue box, great value, nothing expensive. And then we're going to use these labels, and the labels are from, let me grab the pack. They're from American Craft, and they're the chalkboard labels. So you can actually take a baby wipe and wipe this off if you use a chalkboard marker, which I did, and then relabel it if you need to do that so that you can store something else in it. This is just my Bo Bunny glitter paste. I had all these just on a little shelf and they were all everywhere, so I decided to make a couple of these that will slide into my shelf perfectly, and then I can see what's in that box. So, and then I just used a little flower that I had, a button, and that is it. I covered it with paper. So we're going to make another one of those. I love upcycling things because it's better than throwing it in the garbage. And all I'm doing to take the top off of my tissue is just I'm using my craft knife, and I just slide it along that seam where it folded right there. And if you take your hand, let me get it back in there, get it started, and I'll show you. If you take your fingers and kind of guide your fingers on the side of the box like that, and then just glide your fingers along, you can cut quite a bit straighter. Now you're going to come to little bumps and knots every now and then where it folded together. Just kind of easily work your way over those. And remember, your craft knife is probably very sharp, so you're going to need to be very careful and not cut yourself. Now I'm going to use paper from the same collection that I made the other one out of. It's not the exact paper, but it matches. It's from the same collection. This is an old collection that I've had, so it's not something that we have in the shop, but I just wanted to use this. When I upcycle things, I like to use my older paper and use those up as well. To me, that's just another form of upcycling. Now I'm going to cut this where it will overlap just a little bit. So we're going to cut this at 4.5. And let's see, this one's going to go corner to corner, so we're going to cut that at 8 7/8. Now I want my pattern to run this way, so I'm going to cut the 8 7/8 out of this part. And for our end pieces, we know it's going to be 4.5. We're going to cut these. We're going to cut these 4 3/4. So we want our 4 3/4 to run this way, like this. Now for our inside pieces, and we're going to go ahead and get all of our pieces cut out first. We need those to be just almost exact, just a little shy. We're going to cut that at 3.5 by 4 5/8. So we're going to start out by putting this bottom piece on, and what I'm going to use is a mixture of my Collage Podge. We do have this in the shop, so I'm going to put some of that in my little mixing cup here, and then I'm going to use some of my art glitter glue. This way it will dry quicker and it will hold tight. If you just use the Collage Podge, it takes it a while to dry, and sometimes it'll turn loose on a slick surface like this. So this will just ensure that it sticks really tight. We're going to mix that up a little bit. Use one of our old brushes, and we're going to brush that on. This will also make the box sturdier, so it will be a lot tougher with all of this on there than if you just put the paper on itself, because when this dries it will harden, not harden to where it's not flexible. It'll still be flexible, but it will harden it up a little bit to make it more like a chipboard. Alrighty. So we're going to put that piece down, And we're not going to fret if it's a little bit shy, because this is going to be the bottom, keep in mind. And this box is actually a purple color, so, and I just didn't want it to stick out around the edges, so. Alright, looks like I need a little bit more right here. Okay, and now you can press that down really well. Now the next piece that we're going to put on is we're going to go ahead and put our bottom piece in here first before we do anything else. So let's put that one down. We're going to do the same thing. If you hear some giggling and things in the background, it's my grandson. He is here and he's watching a movie, and he really gets into his movies. Okay, so put that one down. And then press it down there really good. Don't worry if you get some of this on the top of your paper, because we're going to seal this up all over anyway. And if you need to, use your bone folder and get down in there in the corners. Press that down really well. Alright, we got that in. Now we're going to start covering the sides. Now if you have a directional paper like I do, just make sure that it's up the right way. So I'm going to hold my paper right at the bottom. I'm going to make sure that everything's going to fold over right. Okay, on these corners right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this where I'm going to fold it, which is right there, and right there. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut up at a little angle from that mark, just so that that will fold down well when I get over to that. Just like that. That's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to take my scoreboard and I'm going to lay this on my scoreboard upside down, since this paper does have some glitter on it. I'm going to go where I made that mark, which is right at where I cut that little corner. Lay that back down and then run my score line, whoops, right down through there. That'll give me an easier fold when I get to that part. I'm going to put it back on and dry fit it, make sure that I've got the line where it needs to be. And that looks about right. Right, now we're just going to put, and I'm going to need to mix up more of this. The links to the products that I am using will be below, so if you see any product that you would like to have, then you can go down and click on the link and it should take you right to the product. If you have any problems with those links, just let me know. Just send me a message. Alright. Just make sure you get a really good coverage. Now I also go ahead and put some on my paper. I might not necessarily cover the whole side, but I do make sure that I get some on my paper around the edges especially. Just remember, this dries a lot faster than just your Collage Podge, so don't take a lot of time doing this. Alright, and just put that down, center it up, roll it over, and then start pressing it down. Just keep running your hands back across it because it does take just a minute for this to grab. So don't be too impatient like me sometimes. On the inside, you may have to put another little layer of your Collage Podge, Mod Podge mixture, Collage Podge and glue mixture down on here just to get that to stick. And then just run your bone folder across it. And it sticks very well. You can go back to the outside, run your bone folder across there. Like I said, don't bother about getting some of the mixture on the outside because we're going to cover all this with it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So there we go, there's that side covered. I'm going to go ahead and cover the other sides and then I will be back. So the outside is covered and the bottom, and now all we need to do is put our inside pieces in here, and we're going to do it the exact same way. We're going to cover this with our Collage Podge glue mixture, put a good layer on there, I know you can't see this part, but I'm trying to hold it where you can see part of it. And bring it all the way up to the top over that little lip that we folded in there. And then just slide your piece in there. If it's directional paper, make sure that you put it the right way. Slide that in there like that. And then I take my bone folder and I just run over it a few times. Make sure it's stuck down really well. Especially in your corners. Make sure you get your corners and this top part. So just use your bone folder flat and just run back and forth. And there is how the inside is going to be. Okay, we have our inside covered, and then I have gone ahead and put a layer of our Collage Podge glue mixture on the inside. Since both of these will dry clear, don't have to worry about any brush marks or anything like that because it all dries clear. Now if you're using a glue that doesn't dry clear, then you might ought to not use that glue or think about a different type glue. This glue, our art glitter glue, does dry clear, so we don't have to worry about that. Our Collage Podge dries clear and they're not left tacky. As you can see, this box is firm, but it's not tacky at all. There's no sticky part left to it like you get with Mod Podge sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and on the outside, we've got more of our mixture. We're going to put a good layer on the outside. Now you'll notice right up here at the top where this paper had some glitter in it, so it cracked just a little bit where we bent that over. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to put a good layer of that mixture on there. That will hold it together. This will help bind all of our edges down. Make sure that none of them pop up. And you'll see in just a moment my edges on the corners, some of them are trying to pop up or not meet together. That's where this comes in. You just put a really good layer down there. Put some on the inside there. And then this is where you'll have to get just a little messy. I just take my fingers then and I pull that paper together and just rub it back and forth until that starts to dry. That will pull all of those edges together. You have to manipulate this just a little bit, especially my paper. My paper has a little bit of glitter in it, so it's not wanting to do what I want it to do. So if you're using just a regular pattern paper that doesn't have any glitter in it, then you shouldn't have to worry with this too much. But either way, it's not a big bother. Doesn't take but just a minute for it. See, it's already starting to glue together. Okay, our box is somewhat dry. It still needs a little bit more drying time, and that's not a problem. I'll let it sit up and dry a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and put our label on and our little flower on, and we'll be finished with it, other than just sitting it and letting it dry a little bit. Now, on these chalkboard labels, you get 8 in a set, and you get the green, the pink, the white, or the cream color, and the black, and I think you probably get 2 of each. Okay, and they're about 4 inches by almost 3, so 2 3/4, something like that. I used the green one on the other one, but I think I'm going to use this one, the kind of pale white color. And I'm going to use my chalk marker. This is also by American Craft. And you can use these in your Cricut. These are the right size to use in your Cricut if you have a Cricut Explorer Air. Now, I need this one for my glass beads and my mica powders. So I'm going to put okay. So I'm going to put that on there. Let it dry for just a second. And then peel the backing off of this. They are self-adhesive, so just peel your backing off and press it down. Let's see if we can get this in the center somewhere near. Alright, that looks pretty good right there. So you see we have that on. And yes, I did smear it just a little bit right there. I'm not going to worry about it because I can always wipe that off and redo if I need to. So then we're going to put down, I just cut out a little flower out of the paper that I used on the inside. I'm going to use a glue dot in the center of that. I'm going to put, I didn't need 2, but I'm going to put this flower, which just came from one of the Bow Bunny ephemera packs. And then I'm going to put this little piece in the center. And that is a button, and it also comes from the Bow Bunny ephemera pack. And if you've never bought one of those ephemera packs, you do not know what you're missing. Those things are wonderful. I think I'm going to put that one up there like that. So I'm going to use a glue dot to put that down as well. We still have some of those ephemera packs, I think, on the .com store as well as in the Facebook sale group. Okay, there you go. You got that. Okay, so now we can put our mica powders and our beads in here. And let's see. There we go. And I will put these up on my shelf and let you see how nice they look. I'll try to do a before and after shot, and I'll insert it at the end to let you see how nice these look on the shelf, and they're organized. I really like that part about it. And then when I need to change these labels, all I have to do is just wipe that off and put another label on there if I need to change them for something. Okay guys, that is it. That is our tutorial. I hope you enjoy, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.